I'm flabbergasted that there's even the possibility of making a change this big, not through legislation, not even through notice and comment rulemaking, but the industry has just asked for a complete exemption from all the rules with a rubber stamp. We could see digital receipts where a company claims to have 1,000 shares of Apple stock in reserve and issues 1,000 tokens, but maybe they'll issue 2,000 tokens. We could even see derivative where they don't even claim to have any reserve, any Apple stock, but they just say their Apple coin is worth as much as Apple stock. As I mentioned, this would kill the consolidated audit trail and provide a wide open system for insider trading. And exchanges must monitor and surveil for manipulative trading activity, including spoofing, front running, and wash trading. There's no equivalent in this tokenized system. Mr. Benson, by the way, welcome back once again to this room. The United States is the deepest, most liquid capital markets in the world. As a result, broker-dealers are subject to rigorous know your customer and anti-money laundering requirements to prevent our capital markets from being used as an arm of illicit finance. Are you concerned that granting this exemptive relief for tokenized securities would open the door to our capital markets being available to money laundering?
Well, I think that Congress should be concerned and policymakers should be concerned that everyone active in financial markets is abiding by the existing BSA know your customer rules. And so that's an issue that as we're thinking about tokenization, as we're thinking about DLT, and we're thinking about any exemptive relief or even DeFi, that policymakers need to understand where KYC, BSA rules can apply, and if there are gaps, how you're going to deal with them, because that becomes more of a national security and issue that is in your.
There is a tremendous power in Washington to let people make huge amounts of money by opening giant gaps in the know your customer and anti-money laundering. There's huge money to be made in being the financial services subpart of the industry to provide aid first to the drug dealers and the human traffickers and the sanctions evaders, and then eventually to the tax evaders as well. Exchanges provide transparency regarding fees, conflicts of interest, access, user segmentation, order handling. There'd be no requirements for unregistered DeFi systems, enabling bad actors to charge investors exorbitant fees and use opaque, conflicted, discriminatory order handling practices. Furthermore, broker-dealers are required to obtain best execution for customer orders and also provide extensive disclosures regarding order routing decisions and execution quality. There would be no equivalent requirements for unregistered DeFi intermediaries, meaning that conflicts of interest can pervade the execution process as an intermediary can manipulate transaction ordering. Mr. Benson, how can we ensure that the introduction of tokenized securities does not raise new best execution, investor protection, or market manipulation concerns?
Well, I think applying the existing rules, again, a security is a security, whether it's tokenized, whether it's book entry, or whether it's paper, which virtually nobody has and hasn't for a long time. And so all these rules are very important. So you shouldn't be exempting that by virtue of technology. And I have to say, with all due respect, in where we've been concerned about issues around DeFi, where you have intermediaries or infrastructure, again, intermediaries are infrastructure often. If the infrastructure is doing the same thing that a broker-dealer does, if it's routing, if it's being compensated for that, if a custodian is acting as a custodian as opposed to pure self-custodian, and they're also providing order selection, order routing, that's the same thing. And that's what the SEC and maybe ultimately Congress has to figure out, is how you draw those lines and definitions. But if you're doing the same thing as somebody and you're being compensated for it, then you should be regulated as such.
Thank you. I'm concerned that we're creating a two-tiered market where tokenized securities and blockchain platforms are exempted from core securities regulations. We've learned over the last 100 years we need these regulations, And to turn to the tech bros and say, go fleece investors, do whatever you want because you're cool, you're hip, and you're electronic is absolutely absurd, and I yield back.